There have been a lot of nasty stories coming out of Australia recently. First, they went on total lockdown, one area even locking down due to a single solitary case. Then they brought in the military to enforce the lockdown. Then a friend of mine sent me a video of a man whose wife tried to send him to a mental hospital for refusing the vaccine, where doctors diagnosed him with paranoia of the government. Then they started issuing warrants for people who tested positive for COVID to be sure they isolated. But now Australia is killing puppies because COVID. I'm sorry, but you guys have lost your collective minds and are officially dead to me. I don't even know what to do with this story. Rescue dogs are near and dear to my heart, and in fact, Liberty Doggo, who often makes cameos on the Friday night streams, is a rescue. Now, in some bizarre and up interpretation of COVID restrictions, Australia is encouraging animal rescues to keep operating, but then shooting the dogs because they don't want anyone traveling to rescue them. And the kicker is, this story was in an area that didn't even have any new or active cases by the Ministry of Health's own data. Make it make sense.
It's actually not technically possible.
This story broke over last weekend, first appearing in the Sydney Morning Herald, but then made it to the US via Fox and the New York Post and a few other outlets. According to the Herald, several dogs were impounded and were slated to be rescued by the Rural Outback Respite Rescue. But last week, the Berkshire Council instead made a last-minute decision to shoot the dogs in order to prevent the rescue's volunteers from traveling. A total of 15 dogs were shot, including 10 puppies.
I hate puppies!
I mean, we all know that government is far, far, far from a benevolent being, but how evil do you have to get to kill puppies?
Evil begets evil, Mr. President.
The Office of Local Government put out a statement that the council, quote, decided to take this course of action to protect its employees and community, including vulnerable Aboriginal populations, from the risk of COVID-19 transmission. However, they have refused to comment any further, as did the council and, unfortunately, the rescue itself. Someone did, though, anonymously release the details that the rescue and their volunteers did, in fact, have COVID safety measures in place, and that one of the dogs was a new mother who had just recently had the puppies. And once the story broke and started spreading, the council allegedly came back and told USA Today that they shot the dogs both to stop out-of-towners from traveling and because the pound was at capacity. Even though those dogs already had a place to go, it was agreed they were going to go there, and they were just waiting for their transport. Local animal rights groups are calling for an investigation into the decision, and so the local government is looking into if any animal cruelty laws have been broken. Australia does have something called the Companion Animals Act, which stipulates that before destroying a seized or surrendered animal as authorized by subsection 1, it is the duty of the council concerned to consider whether there is an alternative action to that of destroying the animal and to adopt any such alternative. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, and in fact, the Office of Local Government Ministry, Shelley Hancock, has faced questions in Parliament before over the shooting of animals in council pounds. In March, she was asked about the past shooting of animals waiting for rescues or for their owners to claim them, and denied knowing anything about it.
I think the part where he's pure evil and kills randomly was an oversight.
But stated that if such a practice existed, it would be concerning. She then backtracked and said that local councils weren't required to report to their government how these animals were taken care of. But in the past, she and the council didn't claim it fell under the umbrella of COVID safety precautions. On July 30th, the government stated that pound and rescue workers fell under the essential worker category and so are allowed to travel for work even in locked down areas. Even so, the council decided that killing the dogs while their rescuers were on the way was the sensible thing to do to protect their community from the dangers of a rescue worker going outside and putting some puppies in a van. We can all sleep soundly tonight, folks, because according to the council, the locals are now safe and people can continue to be locked in their houses thanks to the brave sacrifice of some folks at the local pound. That's it for this video, folks. Please help me beat the YouTube algorithms with a like, share, and comment, or subscribe if you're new here. If you'd like to help out the channel in other ways, I have a full list of partners and support options in the description that really help keep the channel going. As always, thanks for tuning in, even though this was a very sad story, and helping me to spread the message of liberty.